Hello, my friends. This is Diana Rankin coming to you with this week's message for you. The week of January 29th to February the 4th. What can we expect? This might be the week that there's a collective sigh and we're all holding our breath. The energies seem to be clashing this coming week, this week of January the 29th to the February 4th. I think we're going to see a lot of clashes. Of course, my perspective is here in the U.S., but I'm looking at around the world, and I think I'm seeing some danger areas, and I don't like to even think that, let alone say that. But I say that in asking all of you, instead of thinking danger, think much more positive, think love, and hopefully we can avert some of the danger. At the same time, I say to every one of you, it's really, really important that you listen to your own intuition. If you are in a public place and you feel in danger, leave. Leave privately, leave quietly. Do not cause danger. But if you happen to see or know for certain there is danger, then you absolutely have an obligation to alert others. But if it's an intuitive feeling and you just feel you need to be out of there because the energy is wrong for you, then I encourage you to leave. It is a time to listen very carefully to our intuition, and if our intuition tells us to turn left when we're driving and we want to turn right, turn left. We have to start listening to that. That's going to become even more important. This week, the word balance is still going to be important. Don't get caught in these energies that are fighting with each other. Don't get caught in all of this uproar that's going on. Don't get caught in it. It's not about being complacent, but it's about we need to deal with everything through a lens of love. So am I posting something on social media out of anger? If I am, I need to step back from that and say, do I need to inform those on my social media page about this? And if so, then I do so out of the name of information, because it isn't about keeping our heads in the sand. It is about keeping each other informed, but it's also about our strength. We must pay attention to what our strengths are. You know, my new catchphrase is love will prevail, and I believe that with everything that I am. Love will prevail. Oh my gosh, I believe that. And I hold that strongly in my heart. At the same time, for love to prevail, we have to acknowledge there's a shadow. And we have to deal with that shadow. And the world is dealing with that shadow right now. So it's not about ignoring the shadow. It's about recognizing it's there and moving it to the other side. You know, there's an old cliche, it's always darkest before the dawn. And the dawn is not yet coming up this week, other than in our own individual lives. And so that's how we will bring the dawn up into the world, in our own individual lives. And that's what we're going to have to keep in mind this week. We're going to have to do what we can to add kindness, generosity, love, compassion, understanding to our world this week, because we are going to be called to do that. Even if it's only a smile that you pass along to a stranger. You know, when I was a little girl, my mother used to tell me, don't smile at strangers, stop it. And that was way back in the days before we really knew strangers were dangerous at times. I'm glad I didn't listen to her. And years later, my mother and I lived thousands of miles apart, or a few thousand miles apart, and she came to visit me. We never hugged, but I had learned how to hug. And I taught her how to hug. And from that day on, we smiled and we hugged, and she even learned how to hug strangers, as did I. If you can hug a stranger, do. If you can't, that's all right, but at least smile. Let's take a look to see what Philip tells us about this week. Philip, as you know, many of you know, if you've been watching my videos, Philip is my spirit guide. And this is a book he gave me. It's called The Master's Book of Answer. and there's a different message on each page. So we just have to flip through the book, and you can do this with any book. It's just easier if there's only one answer and it's a rather esoteric answer on each page. And so we're just going to flip through, and we have to think left page or right page. So I'm thinking right page. And there, you see where the thumb just stopped, all right? So the right page, okay, thank you. That which you create in thought is multiplied and returned to you. I'm going to read that again. That which you create in thought is multiplied and returned to you. Oh, my friends, this week, it is so important that we keep our thoughts as positive as possible, that we keep our thoughts knowing we are safe in our world, because we are creating that thought pattern around us. What I can tell you is, as a spiritual teacher, as a psychic medium, as a coach, that when I look at your life individually, if you're one of my clients, I can tell you what your soul has asked of you. So I can promise you collectively, as a collective, our souls have readied us for this time. We are the people who came into this time for a reason. Find that reason, stand for that reason, and stand for yourself and the world in a place of love. Not anger. Love. Love, remember, is a verb, and that's very powerful. I'm going to read what Philip says again. That which you create in thought is multiplied and returned to you. Let your thoughts be, yes, we will hold our leaders here in the U.S., we will hold the fire to their feet and ask them to do the right thing. We will work against them through marches and through hear our voices. And we will do that worldwide, because it is time to stand up for people, four-legged ones as well as two-legged ones. So, my friends, if all you add to the world this week is a smile to a stranger, that's a start, and that may be enough. I love you. I love you. I hold you in peace this week. I hold you in love. I hold you in my heart. I am thinking of you. Until we meet again, this is Diana Rankin saying, I love you. I love you. Thank you for receiving that love.